the widow of the Pulse nightclub shooter, who is facing federal charges, is in a downtown Orlando courtroom Thursday so attorneys in the case can argue which evidence will be presented to jurors. Noor Salman faces charges of aiding a foreign terrorist organization and obstruction of justice. She was arrested 7 months after her husband, Omar Mateen, left 49 people dead and injured at least 68 before police shot and killed him on June 12, 2016. Mateen called 911 from the club and pledged his allegiance to the leader of the so-called Islamic State group. Judge Paul Byron heard testimony from Mateen's brother-in-law, who saw Salman briefly with FBI agents the morning of the attack when he came to pick up her son, from the Orlando Police Department hostage negotiator who spoke with Mateen on the phone, and from the Fort Pierce police officer who made contact with Salman in the early hours of June 12. Lieutenant William Hall of the Fort Pierce Police Department said he received a teletype request from OPD to get Salman from the condo where she and Mateen lived with their 3-year-old son. He got her phone number from police in Port Street. Lucy, who had already contacted Mateen's family, and called her to ask her to come outside and speak with him. When he saw her come out of the apartment in her pajamas, he put away his AR-15. I didn't know if she was a suspect, or a witness, or a person in poor circumstance, Hall said. Hall said he did not ask her too many questions because he knew investigators were on their way from Orlando. He let her and her son sit in the back of his Crown Victoria with the door open and the air conditioning on. He did ask her what kind of car Mateen drove, and she said he had a rental. She also told me Omar was very careful with guns, that he wouldn't hurt anyone unless he was protecting himself, Hall said. I hadn't said anything about guns. Mustafa Abasan, who married Mateen's sister, said law enforcement agents called him about 4 a.m. that morning and asked him to come out and speak with them. Someone asked me where Omar Mateen was, where he lives, Abasan said. I asked them what happened, is he fine, was there an accident? They did not ask him about Salman at that point, he said. Later that morning, agents asked the family to pick up Salman and Mateen's son. Abasan volunteered to follow an FBI agent in his car, pulled up to the back of an office building and waited for someone to open the door. Abasan saw his nephew and Salman in a room with 2 or 3 agents, he said. He asked if Salman wanted to come with him as well. Somebody in the room, he said he could not remember if it was Salman or one of the agents, said she was staying. She came back to his house later that afternoon to get her son. Salman's trial is scheduled to begin March 1 in Orlando's federal courthouse. Prosecutors have said she knew her husband was planning the attack, and that she told investigators he once showed her a photo of the club, which is about a 2-hour drive from their Fort Pierce home. Salman's defense attorneys have said she did not know what her husband was planning, and that he regularly lied to her about where he was going and what he was doing.